Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Podcast Every Day.
It's so good to be here with all of you again.
Sarah, it's great to see you as always. You're looking particularly energetic today.
Well, I'm trying. You know, sometimes you just have to push through, even when you're feeling a little worn out.
A perfect segue into today's topic. We're talking about those moments when you feel tired, but you absolutely can't give up. It's a universal feeling, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we've got some fantastic tips, vocabulary, and even a role play to help you navigate those challenging times in English. So, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's right. Make sure you join our community so you never miss an episode. Let's dive in. So today's episode is titled, When You Feel Tired, Don't Give Up. A sentiment I think we can all relate to, especially when learning a new language.
Absolutely, Alex. We've all been there. You're studying English, maybe after a long day at work or school, and suddenly your brain just feels like it's hit a wall. You're drained, you're sleepy, and the temptation to just give up and scroll through social media is incredibly strong.
Precisely, and that's why this topic is so crucial for English learners. It's not just about grammar rules or vocabulary lists, it's about building the resilience and motivation to keep going. We want to equip you with the language to describe these feelings and, more importantly, to encourage yourself and others.
So let's jump right into some key phrases. First up, we have to hit a wall. Alex, you used it earlier, but can you give us another example?
Certainly, to hit a wall means to reach a point where you're so tired or stuck that you can't continue. For instance, after studying for 3 hours straight, I really hit a wall and had to take a break. It's that moment of complete mental or physical exhaustion.
I know that feeling well. Next, how about to push through? This is something I often tell myself.
To push through means to continue despite difficulties or feeling tired. It implies effort and determination. So, if you're learning English and feeling discouraged, you might say, I'm tired, but I need to push through this lesson to make progress.
Yes, it's all about that grit. And speaking of grit, what about to keep your chin up? I love this one because it's so visual.
It is, to keep your chin up means to remain cheerful and optimistic in a difficult situation. It's about not letting adversity get you down. For example, even though I failed the exam, my teacher told me to keep my chin up and try again.
That's fantastic advice for learning English, too. Sometimes you get a little frustrated, but you've just got to keep that chin up. And finally, a great phrase for when you're almost done: to see it through.
To see it through means to continue doing something until it is finished, especially something difficult or unpleasant. It's about commitment to the end. Learning a new language is a long process, but it's important to see it through to achieve fluency.
Excellent, so we have to hit a wall, to push through, to keep your chin up, and to see it through. These are all fantastic expressions to add to your English vocabulary, especially when talking about perseverance. They're so much more vivid than just saying, don't stop.
Indeed, and understanding these nuances will really elevate your English. Now, let's hear these phrases in action with our role play. Sarah, what scenario have you cooked up for us today?
All right, everyone, now let's hear a real conversation. Listen closely for those key phrases we just learned. Here's a chat between Michael and Nicole about their wellness goals.
Hey Nicole, you look a little tired today. Is everything okay?
Oh, hey, Michael. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. I hit a wall with my fitness routine this morning. I've been trying to wake up early for a run every day, and today my body just said no more.
Oh, I totally get that feeling. It's tough to keep up that kind of discipline. So, did you just skip the run then?
Well, that was the temptation. My bed was looking very inviting. but I told myself I had to push through. Even if it was just a short walk, I wanted to see it through.
Wow, good for you. That's real dedication. I usually just give up when I feel that tired. My gym membership is mostly just a decoration.
You know, it's hard. There are days when I really struggle, but I try to keep my chin up and remember why I started. It's for my health, my energy levels.
That's a great mindset. I should try that. I've been trying to learn Spanish, and I often hit a wall after about 20 minutes of grammar practice. My brain just shuts down.
Yeah, language learning can be exhausting, but you've got to push through those difficult moments. Maybe break it down into smaller chunks, like 10 minutes of grammar, then a 5-minute break.
That's a good idea. I always try to do a solid hour and then I just lose focus. It's frustrating.
Don't let it get you down. Just keep your chin up. Every little bit of practice helps. The important thing is to see it through, even if it takes longer than you expect.
You're right. I guess I need to be more patient with myself. Thanks for the pep talk, Nicole. I needed that.
Anytime. We all have those days when we feel like giving up. The key is to find that inner strength and just keep going.
I'm going to try to apply this to my Spanish studies. I'll push through tonight, even if it's just for 15 minutes.
That's the spirit. And before you know it, you'll be fluent. Just remember to keep your chin up, even on the tough days.
I will. Thanks again. Now, I think I'll go make a strong coffee to help me push through the rest of the workday.
Good plan. See you later, Michael.
All right, everyone, welcome back. That was a great conversation between Michael and Nicole. Now, let's break it down and unpack some of the fantastic language they used.
I loved it. It really showed how these expressions are used in everyday situations. Nicole's determination not to give up on her fitness routine and Michael's struggle with Spanish. So relatable.
Absolutely. Did you notice how Nicole said, "My body just said no more" after hitting a wall with her routine? This is a great, informal way to describe physical exhaustion. A B1 learner might just say, "I was very tired, but my body said no more," adds a much more vivid image.
Yes, and Michael's line, "My gym membership is mostly just a decoration," was hilarious. It's such a common, self-deprecating joke that many of us can relate to when we don't follow through on our fitness goals. It shows a good understanding of idiomatic humor.
Indeed, and when Nicole advises Michael about his Spanish studies, she suggests maybe break it down into smaller chunks. To break down here means to divide something into smaller, more manageable parts. It's excellent advice not just for language learning, but for any big task.
That's a really useful phrase. A B1 learner might say, "Make it smaller." But break it down into smaller chunks is much more natural and specific. And then Michael says, "I always try to do a solid hour and then I just lose focus." To lose focus is a great way to describe when your attention drifts or you can't concentrate anymore.
Exactly, and Nicole's response, "Don't let it get you down," is another fantastic idiom. It means don't allow something to make you feel sad or discouraged. It's a common phrase used to offer encouragement.
And she follows it up with, "Every little bit of practice helps." This is such a positive and encouraging sentiment. It reminds us that even small efforts accumulate over time, which is so true for language learning.
Towards the end, Michael says, "Thanks for the pep talk, Nicole. I needed that." A pep talk is a speech intended to encourage or motivate someone. It's a really natural way to acknowledge someone's encouragement.
And finally, Michael's resolve. "I'm going to try to apply this to my Spanish studies. I'll push through tonight, even if it's just for 15 minutes. This shows he's internalized the advice and is ready to put it into action. It's a great example of using push through in a personal commitment.
Fantastic points, Sarah. The role play really highlighted how these phrases flow naturally in a conversation. It's not just about knowing the definition, but understanding the context and tone.
Exactly. And for our listeners, try to incorporate some of these into your own English conversations this week. You'll be surprised how much more expressive you become. Now let's look at another really important side of this topic. Beyond personal discipline, how do our surroundings and relationships influence our healthy habits?
That's a fantastic point, Sarah. It's not just about willpower, is it? Sometimes our environment can either lift us up or drag us down when we're feeling low on energy.
Exactly, and this brings us to some more useful phrases. First, to be in good company. What does that mean, Alex?
To be in good company means to be with people who are supportive, encouraging, and share similar positive goals or attitudes. If you're trying to learn English, being in good company could mean studying with enthusiastic classmates.
Love it. It's about having that positive peer pressure, right? And the opposite would be to be a bad influence.
Indeed, to be a bad influence refers to someone or something that encourages negative or harmful behavior. For example, if your friends always convince you to skip your English class for a movie, they might be a bad influence on your studies.
Such a crucial distinction. Another phrase is to set yourself up for success. This is about creating the right environment.
Absolutely, to set yourself up for success means to arrange conditions or make preparations that make a positive outcome more likely. For a language learner, this could mean clearing your desk before studying or setting a specific time each day.
Yes, it's about proactive steps. And finally, to get into a groove. I love this one because it implies rhythm and ease.
It does. To get into a groove means to establish a routine or pattern that feels natural and productive. Once you get into a groove with your English practice, it becomes much easier to maintain, even when you're tired.
Perfect. So, we have to be in good company, to be a bad influence, to set yourself up for success, and to get into a groove. These phrases help us talk about how our environment and habits impact our ability to keep going.
They certainly do. A common mistake learners make is saying make good company instead of be in good company, or do a bad influence instead of be a bad influence. Remember, these are about the state of being or the role someone plays. All right, everyone, let's hear another real-world example. This time, we have Adam and Sky discussing their fitness journeys. Listen out for those new phrases we just covered.
Hey Sky, how was your yoga class this morning? I always see you heading there.
Oh, hey, Adam. It was great, thanks. I've really gotten into a groove with it lately. It used to be such a struggle to get out of bed.
A groove, huh? I wish I could say the same about my gym routine. I try, but I just can't seem to stick with it.
Well, what's your routine like? Maybe it's about setting yourself up for success. For me, having a class at a fixed time really helps.
I just go whenever I feel like it, which is not often. And my workout buddy always wants to go for pizza afterwards, so it's hard to stay motivated.
It sounds like your workout buddy might be a bit of a bad influence, at least for your fitness goals. It's tough when you're not in good company for that specific activity.
Yeah, he's great for cheering me up, but not so much for avoiding dessert. So, you think I should find someone else to go to the gym with?
Or at least set some boundaries. Or maybe try a new class yourself, like yoga or spin. Sometimes just changing it up can help you get into a groove.
That's a good idea. I always feel so much better after I exercise, but getting myself there is the hardest part.
Exactly. You've got to set yourself up for success. Lay out your gym clothes the night before, pack a healthy snack for after, maybe even find a podcast to listen to on the way.
Wow, you really think about this stuff. I just sort of wing it. and then wonder why I don't achieve my goals.
It's all about making it easier for your future self and finding people who uplift you. I'm lucky to be in good company at my yoga studio. Everyone is so supportive.
That makes sense. So, if I want to get into a groove, I need to set myself up for success and make sure I'm in good company, not a bad influence.
Exactly. It takes a little effort at first, but once you're in that groove, it becomes so much more natural. You'll thank yourself later.
Okay, I'm going to try it. Maybe I'll start with laying out my clothes tonight. Thanks for the advice, Sky.
Anytime, Adam, let me know how it goes. And remember, small steps lead to big changes.
Great conversation. Now let's break it down and compare B1 and B2 level language.
Absolutely, Sarah. In this second role play, we can really see the difference between Adam's somewhat simpler, more direct language and Sky's more nuanced, idiomatic expressions.
Yes, right at the beginning, Adam asks, "How was your yoga class this morning? I always see you heading there." A B1 learner might say, "Where is your yoga class?" Or, "You go to yoga." But Adam's phrasing is more natural and observational.
And Sky's response, "I've really gotten into a groove with it lately. It used to be such a struggle to get out of bed." The phrase "gotten into a groove" is a perfect example of a B2 idiom. A B1 learner might say, "I do it regularly now," or "It's easy for me now."
Exactly. And Adam's reply, "I wish I could say the same about my gym routine. I try, but I just can't seem to stick with it." "Can't seem to" is a great softener, indicating difficulty without being overly dramatic. A B1 learner might just say, "I can't stick with it."
That's a very subtle but important distinction. And when Sky suggests maybe it's about setting yourself up for success, she uses the phrase "setting yourself up for success," which is a B2 expression. A B1 might say maybe you need to arrange things better.
And Adam's self-deprecating humor, "I just go whenever I feel like it," which is, not often. This shows a more advanced use of language to express a nuanced idea, rather than just stating, "I don't go often."
Exactly. Later, Sky says it's tough when you're not in good company for that specific activity. Here, "in good company" is used perfectly. A B1 learner might struggle with the preposition and say "with good company" or "have good company."
That's a great point about common B1 errors with prepositions. And when Adam says, "I just sort of wing it," that's a fantastic, informal idiom for improvising or doing something without much planning. A B1 learner would likely say, "I don't plan."
And Sky's advice, it's all about making it easier for your future self. This is a more abstract and sophisticated way of expressing the idea of planning ahead, characteristic of a B2 speaker. A B1 might say, "You should plan now for later."
These comparisons really highlight how B2 speakers integrate idioms, softeners, and more complex sentence structures naturally. It's not just about knowing the words, but how to use them with nuance and style.
Exactly, and for our listeners, the key is to actively listen for these phrases and try to incorporate them into your own speech. Don't be afraid to experiment. All right, everyone, let's do a quick recap of everything we covered in today's episode.
Wow, what a session! We started by tackling those moments when you feel tired but can't give up, introducing powerful phrases like "to hit a wall," "to push through," "to keep your chin up," and "to see it through."
That's right, and we heard them in action in our first role play about wellness goals, where Nicole had to push through her morning run and Michael struggled to see through his Spanish studies.
Then we delved into how our environment and social influence affect our motivation. We learned about "to be in good company" versus "to be a bad influence," and how to set yourself up for success And to get into a groove can make a huge difference.
Exactly. Our second role play with Adam and Sky perfectly illustrated these concepts, showing how Adam's workout buddy was a bad influence and how Sky was able to get into a groove with her yoga by setting herself up for success.
And throughout the episode, we highlighted the difference between B1 and B2 level expressions, showing how using these idioms and nuanced phrases can truly elevate your English and make you sound more natural.
So, whether you're feeling tired from studying or just life in general, remember these phrases. They'll help you describe your feelings and, more importantly, encourage yourself and others to keep going. Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode.
And what an episode it was! We really hope you found it inspiring and helpful for those moments when you feel like giving up.
Thank you so much for tuning in and spending your valuable time with us. Your dedication to learning English truly motivates us.
Absolutely. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment below with any topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes. We love hearing from you.
Keep practicing your English, keep pushing through those challenges, and remember to keep your chin up.
That's all for today. We'll see you next time on English Podcast Every Day.